Hi, I'm Tracy McMahon. I'm a spiritual mentor and intuitive healer, and I am here today to just talk to you about where do we start if we're looking to raise our vibe. So, I asked a question in a group on Facebook, and I just said, what sort of things would you like to learn more about? And this was one of the common themes, like, how do I start? Where do I begin? So, I think that the best place to start is right where you're at. Now, this is where we can get stuck in that whole idea of my life doesn't look like I want it to look. I have done things in the past that maybe I'm ashamed of, or there's been challenges and things that have happened to me in my life that I just keep carrying them with me and I just can't move on from them. So every one of us has a story. That's a given. Like, I mean, I'm 53 years old. You don't get to be 53 without going through some of life's challenges and having different experiences, but it's life is our purpose. The purpose of our life is our life. So, and every one of us has a unique experience of our life. And so when we get to where we are, if you're wanting to change things now and move on to a maybe, attract a different relationship, attract different people in your life, if you're trying to find your tribe, if you're wanting to create different things for yourself and maybe, a different job, buy a house, whatever it may be, what we need to do is the first thing we need to come to is the acceptance of what actually is. Now, this might seem like, yeah, but is that really all it takes? Yes, it is. Because until we accept our current situation, we cannot move forward. Because what will happen is we're going to constantly make um, judgments on ourselves, we'll make decisions and take action through the filter of what we believe about ourselves and our life. And if we're constantly looking back and feeling ashamed or let down or frustrated or angry or grieving whatever it is that's happened to us, we're constantly going to move forward with those goggles on, and everything that we do from here on out will be filtered by that experience. Now, what we can do is we can look at that and we can go, okay, it's happened. And for some of us, it's okay, all of that has happened. So we need to actually come to this space right here today and go, I accept. So the way that we can do this is because the point of all of this is our stories keep us stuck. And they begin to be looping thoughts that go round and round and round in our head. And emotion is simply energy in motion. And if that energy isn't given somewhere to go, it will just continue to go round and round and round in this looping, frustrating dynamic inside of our head where we will just continue to play out those stories. And like Chinese whispers, that thing where if I tell you this and then you tell that story, and then what happens here is the more and more you allow your mind to have control and keep writing the story, the bigger and the scarier that it gets until it just gets to the point of, I guess, paralyzation, procrastination. We just don't move forward. We're stuck in the story. So if we can look at it as though it's just a page or it's just a chapter of the story, it's not the entire book. So imagine if you're watching Netflix, you're watching a movie, and you press pause on a particular scene in the movie. Are you watching the movie? That's like, oh my God, you're stuck in that one scene, in that one scene. And all you're looking at is that one scene, and you're not recognizing what got them to that scene, and you're not recognizing what's happening after that. You're just stuck right there. So, this is exactly like our life. Stop playing pause on the one thing or the umpteen million things that have happened. Stop pressing pause and being involved in that particular scene of your life. Press play and keep going. Because when you look back, the only way that you create a story is to write it. and you can't know the story until the story is complete, and you're only like so far through it. So this is where we actually get to go, okay, so if this is a scene in my movie or a chapter of my book, it's developing the characters. It's developing the inspiration that that character will end up leaving you with when you finish watching that movie and you go, my God, that person went through so much. And yet look how they came out. That's absolutely amazing. And you leave that movie feeling so inspired. That's what we need to do. So this is where we come to this spot and we go, okay, I'm just going to press play because I understand that all of this, and here's some key words, it happened for me. So this is where when I work with people and they're stuck in their story of their past and they're reliving it over and over, or they're constantly making decisions and choices based on the filter of those experiences. They're saying words like, why is this happening to me? Why did this happen to me? This is where we get to be more conscious and we get to raise our vibration, because we get to understand that this isn't happening to you. This is happening for you. So this is where we get to be curious about our life and rather be stuck in the shame and the guilt and the fear and the trauma and the grief and all of the other things that we seemingly as humans get stuck in. We actually go, oh, curiously, why is this happening for me? What is this here to teach me? Who am I meeting and what experiences am I having because this thing happened for me? And this is where we get to be on a trajectory of going up in our life and going to a better state of being, because we're not just playing that victim card and allowing that to just go over and over and over and keep us small and keep us in that victim mentality. It actually puts us in a power position where we get to take our power back by going, oh, this is curious. I wonder why this is happening for me. What is it that this is trying to show me? And then we get to move forward, because and you'll discover that the more you do this with your life and the more curious you become around why certain things are happening for you, you get to learn the lessons. You get to discover the wisdom in amongst it all, and then you get to move on from that lesson. So it doesn't keep coming back and back, because you hear people say, oh, this keeps happening to me. Like, why do I keep meeting the same people? Why does this keep happening to me? Why does all of those sorts of things get said? Well, have a look, because you're the common denominator. So if something's constantly happening to you, understand it's continually happening for you until you reach in and grab the wisdom. Until you recognize, oh, hang on a minute, whoops, I'm actually creating this. Why? Why do I keep creating these same experiences? Because then this is how we get to know ourselves. This is how we get to learn who we are and what we're made of. And we get to unpack that instead of letting those looping thoughts go round and round and tell us a story. We get to actually sink in and discover our truth of who we are. And in most cases that I come up against, I get people to understand just how incredible they are, that they've been able to move through whatever it is that happened for them. And once they discover the wisdom in it, they use it as a catalyst to propel them into their life. Because if we're all given something specific that we need to experience in this life, it's because we are going to learn wisdom and lessons. We're going to gain knowledge. We're going to meet people. We're going to be inspired to do certain things because that happened to us that never would have happened if that thing didn't happen. And so when we look back, we go, oh my gosh, now I see why that happened. Even though it was really hard and it was challenging, or it was really like traumatic for me, When we get to come to the space of why has this happened for me, we actually get to move forward. We accept, and then we get to move forward. So this is something that we can explore a little bit further with each other. But for now, let's just start to change the way you speak. The words that you're speaking to yourself, they're very powerful. And maybe using words like, why is this happening for me? And, I'm very curious. Because curious is that sense of wonder and exploration and an adventure. It takes us out of victim and takes us into that discovery. I'll see you soon.